Hello guys, welcome to ICT Innovators. This is our first ever video. So today we'll be covering on a past year paper from the year 2021, paper 2 and its variant 21. Right, let's get on. So first of all, you have been supplied with the following source files, which I will link in the description along with the link to the question paper in this video. Right, so first of all, you will be required to open the M21 evidence.rtf file, which I will do so. Right, it's open. So make sure your name, center number, and candidate number will appear on every page of the evidence document. So what this means is that on every page, you'll be able to see your name, center number, and the candidate number. So to do so, you'll need to place it in the header, which you can just go all the way to the top of the page and double click on the blank space on top. And that will bring you into the header and go ahead and type in the required information. So your name, center number, which I do not have, so I will just write center number, but you will be given one when you register and sit for the exam, along with your candidate number, where Cambridge will provide it for you. So I will just randomly make one up now. Right, done. So next is you're gonna save the document in your work area with the file name M21 evidence followed by your candidate number, and it gave an example here. So let's go ahead and do that. File, save as in the source folder, M21 evidence and your candidate number. Alright, moving on to the main task, which is task 2. What we have just done is task 1. In or using a suitable software package, open the file m21 labprac.rtf. Let's go ahead and open that. Great. So first step, or the first thing to do is to save the document in your work area with the file name m21 labwork. Make sure it is saved in the format of the software you're using. Now this is a very important thing. Saved in the format of the software you're using, meaning if you're using Microsoft Word, which we are all using, the format will be docx. So by default, it will be RTF, which is rich text format. So you are required to change it to the required file format, which is docx. So I'll show you how to do so. So first, you'll head on to File, Save As, in the source file, M21 labwork. And from here, you're going to click below the file name. Click on Rich Text Format, which will bring you to a drop-down menu. And you're going to select the first one, Word document, which is the format of this package of Word. And go ahead and do so and save it. Right, done. Now, once you have done that, you'll be required to screenshot an evidence and paste it as your first evidence. So let's go ahead and do so. Locate the file, which is this. Along with the file type, you will just screenshot this segment and paste it in evidence 1. Done. Right, moving on to the next question, 2 and 3. Set the page size to A4, page orientation to portrait. So to do that, you will head on to the layout section and click on size and the required A4. The next one, page orientation, which is right next to it, to portrait. And finally, on question 3, set the top margin to 3 centimeters and all the other margins to 2 centimeters. To do so, you'll head on to the margins and custom margins, where you'll fill in the required information of 3 centimeters to the top and left, bottom, right of 2 centimeters. Right, once that's done, you just click on OK, and the changes should be applied, and you will know when you see the entire document. Right, now you need to screenshot the things that you have just done. So just go back to the document and just screenshot the entire section, which is size, and just screenshot this whole block. Orientation, and finally the custom margin, where you go to the page setup of the custom margin by clicking margins and custom margins, and you screenshot this whole thing. Right, now just paste it in the evidence document under evidence 2. So the first one, followed by the second one, and lastly the size. Oh, a little too big. One moment. Oh boy. Right, once that's done, we'll move on to the next one, which is question 4 and 5. Place in the header of the document your name, center number, and candidate number left aligned. The text Tawara University Science in the center. The image M21 image.jpg right aligned, resized to 2 centimeters wide, with aspect ratio maintained and text wrap applied. Place in the footer automated page numbers left aligned. The file name with its full path right aligned, and make sure that that's when you complete the steps. So let's go on and do question number 4. So to begin, your header, just double click at the top of the page, and you should see you are brought into the design column, where you can head on to the header and insert 3 blank columns and fill up the required information here. On the left, you'll need your name, your center number, and your candidate number. In the center, Tawara University Science, followed by the image, where you select the type here, head on to the insert section, pictures, and the image provided. Now, when you insert the image, you will be in the format section, and that's convenient as to the very right, there will be height, width, and crop. So all you have to do is to change the width from 17 cm to 2 centimeters. Done. And apply text wrap, which is again on the right side, but where my cursor is hovering. And just select square, and just make an adjustment. And that's it. You're done with the header section. Next, the footer, the same thing, but just scroll to the bottom of the page and double click, where it will lead you into the footer. Once again, insert 3 blank columns, delete the center one as you will not require it. So on the left, it will be automated page numbers. So select type here on the left side, page number, current position, and plain number 1. On the right, the file name with its full path right aligned. So select the type here on the right. In document info, select the file name, and again, the file path. Right, now that's done. So one thing about entering the file path is that it'll make the information really long, so it'll tend to move it to the next sentence, but that's fine because the marker will know that you have put the file name along the file path, so we'll move on from there. Make sure that all items align to the page margins. No other tags or placeholders appear in the header and footer areas. No header or footer items overlap. Headers and footers are displayed on all pages. So let's just check to make sure the criteria are met. So as you can see, there are no other information in the header, just the name, center number, candidate number, our university size, and the resize picture right aligned with tax rep. And in the footer, the page number along with the file name and the file path. Great. And as for the margins, everything is evened out. As you can see by scrolling through the pages, everything looks good. Once you have checked for that, no header and all footer items overlap, which none overlaps, you can move on to the next question, which we will. Moving on to question 5. The house style specification for paragraphs is shown in the table. These styles have been correctly applied to the document, but 2 do not match the house style specification. So all these styles have been created. So all we have to do is to cross-check the fonts or styles that has been created with the table provided in the question and identify 2 that do not match. So let's go ahead and do so. Beginning with the title, you right-click, click on Modify, and check with the question. Sans serif, which is Arial, font size of 20 points, alignment center, enhancement all capital, line spacing single, space before 0, space after 12. Let's check. Font Arial, sans serif, 20 points, all caps, centered, line spacing single, space after 12, and everything is fine. Click on OK and move on to the next. Lab subtitle, right click, modify. Sans serif once again, but a smaller font size of 18. Alignment to the right, and no enhancements. Single line spacing, spaces before 0, and space after 12. Let's do so. Oops. Let's check. Arial, 18 point, right line, spacing single, space after 12. Everything seems normal. No enhancements. Click OK. And move on to the subhead, which you will right click, modify, and check. So, serif, which means Times New Roman. And the difference between sans serif and serif is that serif will have a decorative tail, which I will draw right here. So Arial will just be straight, like so. I'll draw by drawing a T. So this is Arial. Forgive me for my writing with the mouse. And sunset, and serif will look something like that. The serif font, as you can see, there is a decorative tail on each side and the bottom. So this, when you see a font with a decorative tail or some form of curls, etc., it means it falls under the serif category, and the opposite will be sans serif, where it will just be straight without any decorations to it. So now we'll check once again. The subhead will be serif, font size of 14, left alignment, bold underline, line spacing single, space out before 0, and space after 12. Bold and underline. Let's check. So right off the bat, you can see the font and the font size match. The alignments do not match, as it's in the center, while they require it to be on the left. So we make the change here, put it to the left, and the enhancements, they set it to italic and underline, but the question required it to be bold and underline. So unselect italic and select on bold. Let's check for the other components. Line spacing single, yes. Space after 12. And here, as you can see, it says 0 points. So to make the change, you will look at the bottom of the modify style. You will see format. Click on format and head on to paragraph. So in the last section, you will see spacing. Before, leave it to 0 points, and after, the required of 12 points, and line spacing single, so it is set correctly, so we'll leave it. Click on OK. Screenshot this first, because you will require to screenshot for evidence, so might as well just screenshot it now, and click OK. Right. So we'll put a tick on subhead to identify that we made changes to it, followed by body, modify, and check. Serif once again, Times New Roman, font size of 12 points, alignment justified, and no enhancements. Line spacing will be 1.5, space before 0, and space after 12. Now let's check. Serif 12, no enhancement, and alignment. So what they have done is set it to left align while they require justified. So we'll make the change by selecting the justified enhancement alignment. And other changes will be the line spacing. As you can see, they set line spacing single. So to make the change, head to paragraph once again and select on line spacing 1.5 under the drop down menu here, and add 12 points after, and done. Screenshot it once again, and there we go. Add a tick to mark. So since you have identified 2 errors or 2 styles which do not match, you do not need to check bullets, as it's guaranteed is correct, because only 2 styles do not match. So now for evidence tree, you just paste the pictures we screenshotted or you screenshotted into the evidence document. So let's go ahead and do so. 1, the body, 2, the subhead. Right, done. Let's move on to question 6. Enter your name immediately after the subtitle guide produced by. Now this is self-explanatory, so let's just head back and just add our name. And there we go. Easy 1 mark. Next question, 7. Change the page layout so that the subheading, vernier scales, and all the following text is displayed in 2 columns of equal width with a 1 centimeter space between them. So to do so, simply select vernier scales and all the information after. Head on to the layout section. Under the column, click on more columns, select 2 and the spacing of 1 centimeter. The width you are not required to change as they will automatically evenly divided. So 2, and there we go. Everything's evened out. We may now proceed to question 8. Apply the lab bullets paragraph style to the text from the lab book is evidence. 2 is about A4 notebook. So let's go ahead and do so. Locate the required information and it will be here under what do we need. Why do we need lab books? So simply select from the lab book is evidence all the way to the lab book is a bound A4 notebook. Go to home and insert or apply the bullet style. And done. Another 1 mark. Moving on to question 9. Format the paragraph that starts, "These are just some of the items," so that it displays an indent of 1 centimeter from both the left and right margins, an external single line black border, a light gray background fill. So let's go ahead and do so. And locate the paragraph, which you can find over here, which I found. Select it, the whole paragraph, right click, and you will see paragraph over here. Click on it, and under the second section of indentation, add a centimeter on the left and the right. Click on OK, and it should look like so. The next change is the border. Add a border, which will be under the shading. As you can see the bucket here, right next to it, there's a border. Click on the drop down and borders and shadings. Click on box. Select the color to be black and the width of 1 point. And click OK. And it should add a outside box to the formatted paragraph. And lastly, a light gray background fill. To do so, just click on the neighbor, which is the shading bucket. Select a light gray color and just select it and fill it. And it should look like so. Alright, once that's done, we will move on to question 10, which is to find the bracketed text in the document. Insert link to tutorial here and make the brackets and text bold and italic. So we will do so. OK. And there, under the laboratory notebook scales, select and just make it bold and italic. And that's done. Now, lastly, the last question of this section or the task is question 11, which we will spell check and proofread the document. Make sure that the following criteria are met. There are no widows or orphans. Lists are not split over 2 columns or pages. Spacing between all items is consistent. The document is complete with paragraphs intact. Let's see. Lists are not split over the columns. Switch it on. And the document is complete with paragraphs intact, which it is. So now what you're gonna do is to hit Ctrl along with A. This will highlight the entire document. Head on to Review section, Spelling and Grammar, where you will correct any spelling mistakes. As you can see, instructions is spelled with a double U, and we'll make the change to change it to 1U. Tutorials is spelled wrong, it's just missing an I. So make that change. Micrometers and micrometer, multimeter and multimeters, and that's it. Right. Now I just encountered a viewing bug whereby the document will look like so, which is pretty annoying. But a quick fix to this is to head on to the View section, click on Read Mode, and hit Escape, and that should fix it. Right, that's done. We will now save the document using the same file name and format using step 1. So it's already saved in the required format, so all you have to do is click the Save button on the top left over here, where my cursor is. Just spam it, or just click it once. And done. We may now print the document. File, Print. Now, I do not have a printer with me, but since you will be sitting for an exam, which is similar to this paper, but I do not know what you'll be sitting for at the end of the year or next year or the year forward, but I will print it in PDF. So print and save it in the source file with the name printout 1. And I'll check printout 1, open Edge, and run through the document. Make sure everything looks good. There are no orphans or anything, everything is even. Alright. So thanks for tuning in and watching. That will be all for today's video. Like and subscribe as that will help a lot. And we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.